Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the Dreaded D-Rose Report. I got a lot of news again. Let's go at it. By the way, there's no plans. You know, this is just terrible news. Terrible, terrible. There are no plans for any new stand-up for WWE videos, and the WWE production team is no longer working on them. Oh, I'm going to miss those. Alright, as announced earlier, former Intercontinental Champion Honky Tonk Man will not be at the Old School Raw this Monday, and he's promising to reveal all on his website why he won't be appearing. I think I mentioned it along with a bunch of other legends. Anyway, if you're going to WrestleMania 27, the pre-sale passwords to let you know is Friend and Atlanta. According to TMZ.com, Hulk Hogan has applied for a marriage license in order to wed his fiancée Jennifer McDaniels, which is normal. Anyway, his current license expires on January 11th next year. All right. According to spiritual guru Dr. Michael Beckwith, is also the man that the couple wants to marry him. I hope he's legitimate. All right. Mick Foley, by the way, appears on TSN's Off the Record with Michael Landsberg and said his unofficial count of concussions is a dozen up to 100. Man, Mick Foley, probably northern side of 100, I would think. Mick Foley was asked if his brain damage as a result of his wrestling career. Foley responded, "I feel like something hasn't been right for a long time." Maybe that's being in TNA. Anyway, like I'm just submerged underwater. He said, like everything just aren't clear. And talking to Bret Hart, who suffered long-term concussion damage, it's pretty consistent. Honestly, he said, I have not felt sharp, for a long time. Foley also said that he committed to TNA, but would rather definitely return to the WWE for a Hall of Fame induction. I don't know whether he's been asked or not, but you ought to ask first. Especially if they recently endorsed his book, or since they endorsed his book on Raw. A&E's going to be working on their Finding Hulk Hogan reality TV special Wednesday, November 17th at 10 p.m. That's what time it comes on, by the way. And anyway, the first review of the special is out, and it's not very flattering. John Griffith of Us Magazine Weekly wrote the following. Says, wrestler turned reality fixture Hulk Hogan opens up about his divorce, money woes, bouts with depression, a tell-all special. Don't fret, he soon finds God and a career as an executive for TNA. Considering his status in pop culture, the effort could have been a little bit more insightful and less self-promotional, which I'm sure that's all Hogan does with himself is promote, which the heck, if I was that, if I was him, I would too. Matt Hardy appeared on Gregor Helms' Highway to Helms show last night and talked about a number of topics in a 2-hour interview. Hardy talking about having heat with CM Punk, and he has no problem when Lita and Punk recently dated, but Punk is hypocritical. Hardy also addressed reports for months back when he was sent home from WWE in White Plains, New York. Hardy said someone had contacted John Laurinaitis and put heat on him, and Hardy was recently tested but couldn't wrestle until his test came back clean. Apparently it came back clean, and then they fired him. Hardy said that he was sent home from the UK tour months back because the office said that they had heard he was nodding off the night before. I nod off every night. I might nod off here in a few minutes. Helms spoke about frustrations around the time he left and said TNA's talent relations department is working Vince McMahon. He said talent relations is making it. What is it? I don't know what that is. Anyway, says, I'll say publicly, I think Vince is being worked. I think Vince is being worked by the guys in talent relations. Oh, well. Hey, I got some good news, though. WWE's got a 2 DVD disc set on Hall of Famer Bobby the Brain Heenan. Is going to be coming out at the end of December, which I think is around the 28th, if I remember right. Here's a little bit of the chapters on there. On disc 1, I'm going to be reading the titles off on each chapter. Chicago Root. All right. Manager like a wrestler is another one. Orange Fire. Diesel Suit. Oh, Diesel. Whew. Getting towards the end of the week, ain't it? Weasel Suit. Remembering AWA. Bright Lights, Big City. Heenan Family. WrestleMania. I'm Not a Weasel's another one. Manager of Champions. Prime Time. Bobby the Brain Heenan Show, which he had for a short time. Commenting on Gorilla Monsoon's another one. Leaving WWE. And then it's got WCW right after that. Health Issues. Hall of Fame. The Executioners. AWA Manager of the Year 1976. And AWA All-Star Wrestling. December 25th, Christmas 1976 is when it was. The Wrestling Bear Centerfold. Honey, I'm Home is the other one. Another Weasel Suit. He says, I'm Not a Weasel. That was Tuesday Night Titans, October 2nd, 1984. Bobby the Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon go to the Busch Gardens, Primetime Wrestling, December 12th, 1988. Another one's Get Your Popcorn. Another one's Golfing Trip with Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund, Sterling Farms Golf Course, 1991. Another one's Bobby's Big Entrance. That's WrestleMania 9, it looks like. April 4th, 1993. Gorilla Monsoon fires Heenan on Raw on December 6th, 1993, which I remember that clearly. The big old Monsoon just threw him out the door, threw his stuff out there with him, and that's the last we've seen of him for a little while in the snow. All right, the humor of Bobby Heenan's another one. Farewell to Gorilla Monsoon on Nitro, October 11th, 1999. Very moving. The Wedding Eulogy. Freakish Noises at WrestleMania 20. That's March 2004. Heenan's induction to the Hall of Fame, March 13th, 2004. Okay, disc 2. Not as many on there. Hang on. Battle of the Managers, Bobby Heenan versus Lord Alfred Hayes, AWA St. Paul, January 13, 1980. The Weasel Suit, which is Bobby Heenan versus Graham Gagne in 1980. Handicap match, Hogan versus Nick Bockwinkel and Bobby Heenan, 1981. This is all AWA. Bobby Heenan versus Salvador Beloma, Madison Square Garden, 1984. Weasel Suit match, Bobby Heenan versus the Ultimate Warrior, 1988. Royal Rumble match, January 19, 1992. Commentary is Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. Gimmick Battle Royal, WrestleMania 17, I believe, April 1st, April Fool's Day, 2001. Commentary is Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more, but that's the individual categories, or whatever you want to call it. Should be good. Joey Styles had the following to say via Monday night's upcoming Old School Raw episode. What's the big deal about being able to see old school WWE? It's on TV every week, and it's called TNA. Didn't know Joey Styles had a sense of humor. Sean Waltman said the following on his tweet on about a DX reunion. And he said, I'm working on getting a tour of Europe and DX reunion of myself and New Age Outlaws. Any reputable promoters interested? Facebook page me, he says. Yeah, well, I'd like to get back together with my ex-wife too, just so I can get my albums back. Don't mean it's going to happen. Anyway, he was asked how he could be doing this, considering WWE owns the rights to the name. Well, he says, who cares? There would have to be no longer been a DX when Shawn quit after losing to Austin. We were the real degenerates. He must be loaded. He also said everyone already had the watered-down version of DX Reunion, not Triple H and Shawn Michaels' fault, though. Said, I mean that, constant in the water because of the whole PG thing, and no disrespect. I love them both dearly. He hopes, most likely, I'm just saying, let's get back in WWE soon. I don't think it's going to happen. Hey, thanks for clicking, and tell your friends to click. I appreciate it. I gotta go.